So how exactly do you handle a slippery fighter? A fighter that's never in the same place at the same time. Well, that's exactly what Badu Jack, the Ripper, needed to answer for the fans last night. But before I get started, my name is Eric A. Bradley, the real fight doctor, and there is no other on this level. Now, back to the fight at hand. The question at hand is, how do you handle a slippery fighter? Slick like grease, oil. You can't keep up with them in the ring. Well, the objective is to cut the ring off. And what we do as coaches in the world of boxing is we give a game plan. We go over it over and over. And we teach our fighters from the beginning of camp where to go to, how to stop this guy. Do not allow this guy to get comfortable inside of that ring. What does this entail? When a guy's going left, beat him to his left. Don't follow him. One of the tactical errors that Badu Jack came out last night with and did was to stand at distance and allow Degale to move around the ring fluently. That's one thing that you cannot do. That was a tactical error. Doing that, he played right into his hands. He should have taken a page out of Darrell's fight when he fought Degale, and he saw that Darrell got dropped. He got dropped. I predicted that he would get dropped because I didn't feel as if he'd go right in and pressure him due to the fact that Badu Jack is plotting. He takes his time and works at a pace. But I felt like what he should have done last night, I don't feel like this is what he should have done. These are the things that I was thinking before the fight even begun. That he would have to sail right out because James Degale was going to bring his A game. He was going to be on his toes. He was going to be giving him different looks, maybe even switching stance just to keep him off balance. But what happened was he takes his time and he wanted to feel his way out. Same tactical error that Andre Ward had against Kovalev. That's why he found himself on the canvas. Why? Because he was playing at Kovalev's distance. At the end of Kovalev's punches, James Degale did the same thing when it came down to Jack the Ripper. Jack, instead of going in and pressing, and in a second, I'm going to show you guys what that pressure looks like. Cutting the ring off, stabbing him walking to the belly of the beast, cutting the distance, giving him no room to work. That's how you have to do this. You have to smother that guy, stay on his nerves. Another fighter that was great at this was Joe Frazier. He stayed in your chest, under your armpit like deodorant. Why? Because he didn't want to give you space to operate. Ali was one of the few fighters that created his own space and was able to operate and tag Joe whenever he wanted to. Well, sort of. Yeah, he didn't get as many licks off as he'd like to. And that's what materialized as that fight played itself out. He pressured him. He got to him. He started to land the shots in the second half of the fight, worked the body. He has an immaculate body attack. And that's one of the things he should have started right out doing. But we don't like to look at things and say we shoulda, coulda, woulda, pulda. What you want to do is go out there with the game plan. And as coaches, you have to instill that. Walk into that ring. The last thing he hears is do not allow time to pass before you set the tone. All right. Badu Jack started to come on. As he started to break him down late in the fight, he drops him in the 12th round. You know how exhausted a guy has to be. You know how much punishment he has to have inflicted for a guy to get dropped in the last and final round. It shows you that he had been breaking him down properly throughout the fight. And if there was 20, 30 more seconds, man, who knows what would have happened. But Badu Jack came and brought his game. He showed what he was capable of doing. And how does this benefit these guys when it ends up a draw? ends up a draw, it benefits everybody because all the conversation is today is about that fight. Controversy reeks numbers. That's why there's no such thing as bad press. So as the post-fight press conferences went underhand, there was a lot of minutia and, rage. But when it's all said and done, if there's no tactical error at the beginning, this isn't even a conversation today. Badu probably stops him late in that fight. There's no more room or rounds to recover. Badu Jack stops him late in this fight because there would have been no more room to run. He would have caught and cut the ring off from the beginning, stabbing him to the body, raking it under, coming back over the top, breaking him down, like we say in the fight world, round by round. This was a breakdown of what the fight could have played out to be, but in the fight world, as we say, you win some, you lose some, and be glad when you can leave the ring with your title. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it is. So hopefully this was informative. I wanted to show you guys just a little clip of what it looks like whenever you see a fighter breaking down a fighter. Look at this. This is exactly what it looks like when, boom, there he goes. And you see those body shots, you see those uppercuts, you see that movement. That's what it. We'll go right here to the tape. And like I said a short while ago, I showed this demonstration before because there was another fight that kind of aligned itself with this. So here's my brother showing a breakdown of what it looks like of the peekaboo style to get inside and work. This week we're going to cover closing the gap on a fighter. Your objective is to walk through a drill where you're moving your head and closing the distance. So it's boom. It looks familiar because Mike Tyson, he mastered that science. Going in, get by it, boom, boom, roll under. And if you can do this, then you can execute closing the distance, pressing the guy. You have to also be aware to cut the guy off. If he's going to his right, you step to your left. Don't go to where he's been, go to where he's going. He goes to his left, you step to your right, cut that ring off, and then start the walking process back down. There's walking in, keeping the head off the straight line, and then there's pop, 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 hopping off to the side. Bing, 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 using good footwork. This takes consistent work, round after round, take an entire day, master this, and take it into the ring, sparring. This is closing the distance, using the peekaboo style and the rolls. Boom. So there it is. You take the time out, you enjoy this, you watch what it takes to break a fighter down, and then you understand moving forward as a fighter that it takes more than just talking. You got to go in there, execute the game plan, you got to have a formidable team, no distractions, and staying on point. If you guys enjoyed this segment, continue to follow us, like the page, subscribe to the channel. If neither one of those, if you're already subscribed, just share the post. Give someone else insight. I hope you guys enjoyed the fight. Continue to follow. Like I said before, my name is Eric Bradley, and I thank you guys for watching. This is Master Boxing, where we break the fight world down, baby. Round by round. Peace. Degale, Jack.